The maximal share for flat prospect wager terminals, FOBT, should be cut to £30 or less than, the UK's Gamble Committee has suggested. Now human beings can bet up to £100 each 20 seconds on electric gambling house games, such as roulette wheel and blackjack. It comes following advice on FOBTs for the Division for Digital, Civilization, Print and Kind of Sports. The committee says the maximal share on slots games, love conventional harvest car games, should be £2. FOTBs include go by critique for hopeful top stakes gamble and exhibiting human beings to the hazard of gamble damage. The machines include been named the fracture crack cocaine of gamble by campaigners who say they let players Mississippi cash too rapidly, guideline to drug addiction and public problems. Flat odds terminals were entered in casinos and wager shops in 1999, and propose automated games at the concern of a key. The Gamble Committee's paper told the £30 range for gambling house-type games had been suggested, since a high-range tool players could potential Mississippi big amounts of cash in a brief area of period. The government now has to solve if to take the committee's consultation on the share range, or solve to levy a reduced drawing. The government began to see at FOBT machines in October 2016, while it done a urge for testimony on the quantity and position of terminals and the measures in location to defend players. Now Gamble Committee head execution Neil MacArthur has told, "We've put consumer at the cardiac of our consultation that is relying on the top accessible testimony and is concentrated on reduction the hazard of gamble-related damage. In our judgment, a share cut for flat prospect wager terminals one doesn't go far quite to defend sensitive human beings. How is why we include suggested a share cut advantage a inclusive pack of some measures to defend consumer. We include offered actions how will gear both of the hazard of damage and ensure solutions how are stable in the much longer period. These involve work in the gamble production and other on stairs to do range setting more than efficient, that could involve end sessions while consumer achieve period and cash framework. Else guideline is a offered ban on machines creature capable to enable various, top and low share, categories of games to be play in a solitary meeting. FOBT machines engendered more than rather than pound in tax income recent year. Over by the government estimates had offered how a £2 cap could conduct to £1 losing in tax rental income above the following 10-year. But MPs on the FOBT's all-side parliament team include told big gamble segment losses include been overdone. Quotation, the Centre for Economical and Industry Study believe pot, they say the price of issue gamble in the UK is £1 a year, while its effect on broad public well-being is undertaken in expense, consisting areas such as occupation, psychological public health and finance sustainability. Investors emerging to greet the recommendations, as shares in gamble firms climbed firmly following the committee's ad, in Ladbrokes Coralin up 2% and William Mound up 5%. This should be a ease for the segment as the lowest case script looks to include been avoiding. Ministers will now include to excuse a cut under £30 on perspectives of considerable hazard of damage, told analysis Neil Wilson at ETX Equity. The Associate of UK Bookmakers has declared how a £30 maximal share would see 2,100 wager shops close and 10,000 jobs lose. We completely know how down there is social anxiety and how down there will be a share cut to bring the levels of losses on machines in wager shops, it told following the Gamble Committee's ad. In the intermediate, we stay devoted to representing future measures to address issue gamble and will go on to job in all concerned parties. But Harant Humphrey, wager and game conduct at vocational services company EY alerted, a £30 maximal share may conduct to store closures and job losses and could conduct to a wavelength of production consolidating. Tom Watson MP, Labour's Dark Digital, Civilization, Print and Kind of Sports Secretariat, told, "The is a deep frustrating paper of the Gamble Committee who seem to include caved in to production blood pressure. These machines are at the cardiac of the UK's lie plague of issue gamble. The government must cut the share to £2 on all FOBT machines consisting the very addictive roulette wheel styling games, as so as growth the latency among every act. Carolyn Harris, armchair of the FOBT's all-side parliament team, told, same issue is how these machines are addictive. It has got to be £2 maximal share, anything else is reasonable. It is now for the Secretariat of Country to do a judgment. The Gamble Committee recommendations include been shipped to Matt Signature, Secretariat of Country for Digital, Civilization, Print and Kind of Sports. Ministers now include to solve if to carry out any of the committee's recommendations. Mercy Gamble-Aware told it welcomed the committee's contributions to the continuing debate. In the meanwhile, we are wait to listen which the ministers sign in their overview, and expect to listen the results quickly.